And now with the U.S. out, doubly favored. And there's Veronica Campbell-Brown, who will run the anchor leg for Jamaica, who earlier this evening won the 200 meters.
You can be sure, Tom, that Veronica Campbell-Brown watched the last heat where the USA's Tori Edwards here on third leg coming into Lauren Williams. One attempt at the pass, and all of a sudden the stick's on the ground, and the United States is out of the women's 4x100-meter relay.
So now Jamaica is an overwhelming favorite with that powerful lineup of sprinters. And here's the way they will line up in this opening round of the women's 4x100-meter relay. Shelly Ann Fraser will run the leadoff leg. Sherry Ann Brooks, second leg. Aline Bailey, the third. And then to Veronica Campbell-Brown.
And what does it say about the depth of Jamaica? They have the Olympic champion leading off. And Sherry Ann Brooks and Aline Bailey will probably be substituted out for the two silver medalists in the women's 100-meter final, Sharon Simpson and Karan Stewart. And then they anchor with the 200-meter Olympic champion, Veronica Campbell-Brown.
The Russian team. And there's the anchor, Termo Shanskaya.
And Russia always seems, regardless of whether they have good individuals, they pass the stick so well because they train together all year. They are always a threat in a relay race.
Russians are in lane 3 and the Jamaicans lane 7.
And Jamaica has to have taken note of what happened in the previous semifinal.
And so the runners called to their mark for this relay opening round, with the first 3 in each heat, next 2 fastest advancing to the final.
And Jamaica has all this horsepower on the track, but horsepower is not what matters in relay running. It is getting that thing 1 foot long, just about 2 ounces heavy around the track, the baton.
And on their way with the Jamaican team, Shelly Ann Fraser leading off.
And she's Olympic champion, and she's looking like it right now. Here's Jamaica's first pass.
Successfully done as Fraser passes to Sherry Ann Brooks.
And Sherry Ann Brooks has put Jamaica about 5 meters ahead. And another successful pass, and now Aline Bailey on the third leg for Jamaica.
And Veronica Campbell-Brown awaits the baton. Jamaica way out in front. And they successfully pass the baton. Veronica Campbell-Brown with that big lead. Russia is second, but nobody will be close to Jamaica. Russia does finish in the second spot, and Germany third. But Veronica Campbell-Brown, once she successfully had the baton, it was basically all over.
And Tom, when you contrast this to the disaster that the U.S. had, look at the passes for Jamaica. This is first to second. Slow down, stick in hand, clean pass, and down the backstretch goes Sherry Ann Brooks. Now to Aline Bailey, second to third. Look at the concentration, hand back, stick, close, and she's off on that third leg. Their worst pass was actually third to anchor because the veteran Veronica Campbell-Brown makes a mistake. Watch her go to the wrong side of the lane, but she still corrects back, gets a very easy pass from Aline Bailey, and she is down the home stretch comfortably ahead. Jamaica putting on a clinic out here at the Olympic Games in the semifinal.
So Jamaica wins that heat and advances to the final. They'll be the overwhelming favorite to take the gold medal. There will be no U.S. team in the final of either the men's or women's 4x100 relay. And that'll be the first time that that has ever happened since the women's race was added to the Olympics in 1928. No U.S. teams in either one of those finals. And it's sort of symbolic of what's happened to the U.S. track team here at the Beijing Olympics. And you have to look at the new leadership at USA Track and Field and wonder if it's been a vacuum of leadership. There does seem to be no cohesiveness. Seems to be that everyone has their own agenda. Everyone's on the team. Not all the athletes in Dalian at the training camp. So many things you can point to. Do you guys agree to that assessment?
I would say so, and I think one thing you have to understand is that when the U.S. comes to the Olympic Games, they'll have the 3 men from the 100 and the 3 men from the 200 part of the relay pool. But in reality, the entire team is open to the relay pool. So when you get here, you're trying to figure out how do we put 4 men together in the opening heat like we just saw, and then replace some of those guys in the final. But when you look at smaller countries like Eurozone, where you have the same 5 or 6 guys that come to the games over and over again, there's some consistency there. The United States struggles because you don't have that consistency. And then you have a hiccup and a bobble like we just saw there, and you're out.
But you know, Lewis, it really is not just the relay team. We were at their training camp in Dalian. They have had every single thing laid out for them. They were absolutely in the lap of luxury. And maybe that's part of the problem, because this team, I thought, when it was chosen in Eugene, Oregon, was one of the best USA teams ever. And in fact, they have come to Beijing and they have underperformed, the likes of which we probably have never seen from a U.S. track and field team.
What about overall leadership? Is that a problem?
I think we're going to find out, because those are the questions that will have to be answered. Why did some of the greatest athletes in the world in track and field come to these games and not perform up to their standard? Those are the answers that will have to be answered over time. But it's really a shame to see some of these great athletes come here and perform. And you just have to wonder, where was the leadership, the guidance, really the expectation that you come here and you perform on the biggest stage, and it just has not happened.
And guys, to be quite honest, the fact that there was a departure by the previous CEO and there was a vacancy there in the Olympic year quite possibly could have meant that that vacuum of leadership for USA Track and Field has affected severely the performance of this U.S. Olympic team.
Sounds like a variety of reasons the U.S. has underperformed in Beijing. So the men drop the baton, Doc Patton to Tyson Gay. And the women follow up, Tori Edwards to Lauren Williams. Baton again drops. No U.S. teams in the finals of the 4x100, either men or women. The baton rolling off and making history.